His main, I don't want to call it obsession, but we could say his main impetus, it's really not nonviolence. He mostly talks about being manly, preserving your manhood, and not being a coward. He has a real concern about not being cowardly. It's not the Gandhi you read about, or see in Hollywood. It's a very different Gandhi when you begin to read him. Parts of the Hollywood version are true, but a large part has been eliminated, as is the case with many famous people who eventually become revered, like Martin Luther King. Large parts are eliminated. It's incorrect to say that Gandhi was categorically against violence. This is not true. What Gandhi says is he prefers and he thinks it's morally superior to act non-violently. But he says, if you don't have it in you to be non-violent, that is to say, to take the blows and to willingly die, as he puts it, to march cheerfully and smilingly into the valley of death, because that's what he expected of his followers, that with the weapons pointed in their direction, they would just walk into it and die. That's what he expected. And he says, if you don't have it in you to be truly nonviolent, and you are insulted or you are humiliated, he says very clearly, you better hit back and hit back hard. And don't use nonviolence as an excuse for being a coward. He does not accept that you should walk away if you're humiliated and insulted. He would prefer that you act nonviolently, but not if the only alternative is to do nothing. It's a very different Gandhi than you're normally tutored in, I think, by Hollywood films or in the classical. As I say, he's definitely worth reading, and I guess now at this point in my life, I think probably he's on the right track in a lot of what he has to say, more so than most figures in the 20th century. Believe me, Barack Obama is no Mahatma Gandhi. He's a complete fake and a fraud. He makes me ill. You know why? Because so many people struggled, so many people gave their lives and made huge sacrifices to enable him to be where he is today. And all he did was, when all the others battered down the door, that was not an easy door to batter down. They battered down the door. He came out of the blue, ex nihilo, out of nothing. Never had anything to do with any of the struggles. And after they made all the sacrifices, he waltzes through the door with his latte in one hand, his golf clubs in the other, and he actually thinks he did something. He did nothing. He was just a very clever politician like Bill Clinton. If you were white, you would call him Bill Clinton. If he was they say a clever politician. I don't know because I don't know what makes a clever politician. Frankly, I don't want to know what makes a clever politician. But he did absolutely nothing, and he's got it in his head, this kind of megalomania, that somehow he accomplished something. He was a community organizer for 3 years. 3 years? I mean, that's not exactly a millennium. And all he did it for was to pad his resume so he could get into Harvard Law School. He was people like him, don't put them in the category of the Mahatma.